Here's a lesson on adding and subtracting polynomials. In part 1, I'll teach you how to add polynomials. But first, let me remind you what a polynomial is. It's an algebraic expression consisting of one or more terms connected by addition or subtraction operators. So here's an example of what a polynomial expression looks like. Notice in this expression, there are 3 terms separated by addition and subtraction operators. And when adding polynomials together, I can simply drop the brackets and then collect like terms. So for example, if I look at these 2 polynomials that are being added, I have a 4x plus 3, that's a polynomial. I have a 7x plus 2, that's another polynomial, and they're being added together. To add polynomials, the first step is just to remove the brackets. So I'll rewrite the sum of those polynomials, but with no brackets. And now to simplify this expression, I just have to collect like terms. So what I should do first is find pairs of like terms and then rearrange them into groups. And remember, like terms are terms that have the exact same variable part, meaning they are terms that have the same variables with the same exponents. So I notice this 4x and this 7x have the exact same variable part. They both have an x to the power of 1. So 4x and 7x are like terms. I'll highlight them in the same color. And then I also have 2 constant terms, a 3 and a 2. Constant terms don't have a variable part, so they're like terms as well. And now I want to rearrange this expression with the like terms beside each other, and the proper order to rearrange these terms into is based on descending order of degree. The 4x and the 7x are both degree 1 because the exponents are 1 on the x's, and these constant terms, all constant terms are degree 0. So the degree 1 terms should come first. So I'll write the 4x plus 7x first, and then the constant terms will come next. So notice now how the like terms are grouped together, and now I can collect those like terms. When collecting like terms like 4x plus 7x, all we do is we add the coefficients 4 plus 7, which gives me 11, and keep the variable part, x, keep it exactly the same. So 4x plus 7x is 11x. And then my constants 3 plus 2 is 5. So after collecting the like terms, my final simplified expression is 11x plus 5. And now let's go ahead and try a few different practice questions where we add different polynomials together. Example 1a, I'm adding these 2 binomials. Well, when adding polynomials together, step 1, remember, is to just drop the brackets. And now I want to rearrange these terms so that like terms are grouped together. I have a 3y plus a 7y. Those are like terms. And I have these constants 5 and negative 4. Those are also like terms. So I'll rewrite this expression with like terms beside each other. And now I can collect the like terms together. 3y plus 7y, add the coefficients 3 plus 7 to get 10, and keep the variable part the same, so it becomes 10y. And then positive 5 minus 4 is positive 1. So there is my final simplified expression that's equivalent to the original sum of those polynomials. And if you wanted to, you could test that they're equivalent by picking a test value for y, subbing it into our simplified expression, and subbing that same test value into the original expression and making sure it equals the same value. And then moving on to part B, once again, I'm adding 2 different polynomials. So step 1 is to drop the brackets. And now I'll find my like terms. I have a 2p and a positive 4p. And then I have 2 constant terms, a negative 2 and a negative 7. Rewriting with like terms beside each other, I get 2p plus 4p minus 2 minus 7. And to notice when rearranging an expression, whatever sign is to the left of a term stays with that term. So for example, this 2 has a minus sign beside it, so we think of it as a negative 2. And when we rearrange this expression, the negative 2 moved right there, but that negative that was to the left of the 2 stayed with it. And then when collecting my like terms, 2p plus 4p is 6p, and negative 2 take away 7 is negative 9. So there's my final simplified expression. Let's move on to part C. In part C, this time I'm adding 3 different polynomials together. But I can follow the same rules. When adding polynomials, it doesn't matter how many of them there are. You just start by dropping the brackets. And then notice I'm adding a negative 9x, so I could just rewrite that as minus 9x. And now I'll look for like terms that have the exact same variables with the exact same exponents. Well, the 6x, the negative 9x, and the positive 1x, they all have an x to the power of 1 as the variable part of each term. So those are all like terms. And then I have 3 constant terms, negative 12, negative 4, and positive 14. So those are like terms. Let me rewrite this expression with like terms beside each other. And once again, notice when I move a term, I keep the sign to the left of it. So this negative 9x gets moved here with that negative sign still beside the 9x. And then collecting the like terms in each group, 6x minus 9x plus 1x, just add or subtract the coefficients. So 6 minus 9 is negative 3, plus 1 is negative 2. So it becomes negative 2, and then keep the variable part the same. It stays as x. And then my constant terms, negative 12 minus 4 is negative 16, plus 14 is negative 2, which means my final simplified expression is negative 2x minus 2. And then lastly, let's move on to part D, where I add 2 trinomials. Right, I have the sum of these 2 polynomials that each have 3 terms. Step 1 always stays the same. As long as we are adding polynomials, it doesn't matter how many terms these polynomials have. We start by dropping the brackets. And here I'm adding a negative. I can switch that to a subtraction operator. And now I look for pairs of like terms. Terms that have the same variable parts, well, I have a 5x and a negative 2x. I have a negative 4y and a positive 5y. And then I have 2 constant terms, a negative 1 and a positive 13. Rewriting those with like terms beside each other, since the 5x and the negative 2x are degree 1, and the negative 4y and the positive 5y are also degree 1, but by convention we would probably follow alphabetical order and put the terms with an x before the terms with a y. So I'll put the 5x and the negative 2x as my first group of like terms, followed by the negative 4y and the positive 5y, and then my constant terms, negative 1 and positive 13. And then collecting my like terms, 5x minus 2x, if I subtract the coefficients, I get 3, and then leave the variable part, it's still x. Negative 4y plus 5y, add the coefficients, negative 4 plus 5 is 1, so I have 1y. And then the constant terms, negative 1 plus 13 is positive 12. Now, if the coefficient of a term is 1, we don't have to write it. So instead of writing plus 1y, I can just write plus y. And there's my simplified final expression. Moving on to the next part of this lesson, we're going to learn how to subtract polynomials. To subtract polynomials, you have to make sure you subtract every term in the second polynomial. So for example, if we look at this subtraction, 3y plus 5 minus 7y minus 4, the second polynomial, 7y minus 4, I have to make sure I subtract both of the terms. I have to subtract the 7y and subtract the negative 4. So in doing this subtraction, let's see what it would simplify to. Let me zoom in on it. When doing subtraction, we are allowed to drop the brackets on the first polynomial, and then I have to make sure I subtract both of the terms in the second polynomial. So I have to subtract the 7y, and then I also have to subtract the negative 4. And notice I'm subtracting a negative number. I can rewrite that as addition. And now I'll look for my like terms. I have a 3y and a negative 7y. And then I have the constants, positive 5 and positive 4. I'll rearrange this expression so like terms are beside each other. So I'll have the 3y minus 7y and then positive 5 plus 4. And then I'll collect the like terms, 3y minus 7y. If I subtract the coefficients, 3 minus 7, that's negative 4, so it simplifies to negative 4y. We always leave the variable part the same when collecting like terms. And then 5 plus 4 is 9, so plus 9. That would be the final simplified expression for the subtraction of those polynomials. So now let's go ahead and do a few examples where we practice subtracting different polynomials. Starting with example 2a, I need to simplify this polynomial expression. I need to do 4x plus 3 minus 7x plus 2. When subtracting polynomials, I can drop the brackets on the first polynomial, making it just 4x plus 3. But then I have to make sure to subtract both of the terms in the second polynomial. I need to subtract 7x, and I have to subtract positive 2. Subtracting a positive, I can just write as subtracting 2. And now I'll find my like terms. I have a 4x and a negative 7x, and I have the constant terms of positive 3 and negative 2. Rearranging this so like terms are together, I'll put the higher degree terms first. The 4x and the negative 7x are degree 1, and then my constant terms are degree 0, so they'll come last. And then collecting my like terms, 4x minus 7x is negative 3x, and positive 3 minus 2 is positive 1. And that would be the final simplified expression. Negative 3x and 1 are not like terms, they can't be collected together. Let's move on to part B. This time I have two polynomials being subtracted, and in each of those polynomials we have 3 terms, but we'll follow the same process. In the first polynomial, I can drop the brackets, and then in the second polynomial, I have to make sure that I subtract all 3 of the terms. I have to subtract negative a squared, and then I have to subtract negative 2a, and then lastly, subtract negative 5. Whenever I'm subtracting a negative, like in all 3 of these instances, I can just change that to addition. And now looking for my like terms, I have an a squared and an a squared. Those have the same variables with the same exponents. Those are like terms. I have a negative 2a and a positive 2a. Those are like terms. And I have my constants of positive 1 and positive 5. Let me rearrange this expression so like terms are together. I'll put the a squareds first because those are degree 2. That's the highest degree terms. Then I'll put the negative 2a and the positive 2a. Those are both degree 1. Those will come next. And then my constants, which are degree 0, come last. It always goes in descending order based on degree. And now when collecting my like terms, I have a 1a squared plus a 1a squared. That's 2a squared. We leave the variable part the same. Negative 2a plus 2a would be 0a. But I don't have to write plus 0a. That's just 0, so I don't have to write that. You could imagine that this negative 2a and positive 2a just cancel each other out. That's 0. And then 1 plus 5 is positive 6. So this 2a squared plus 6 is our simplified final answer. Now we have 2 more to do. Let's do part C. When subtracting polynomials, we'll drop the brackets on the first polynomial, and then I have to subtract all 3 terms in the second polynomial. I have to subtract 7x, subtract positive 3y, which I could just write as minus 3y, and then I have to subtract negative 2z. But when subtracting a negative, I can just change that to plus 2z. And now I'll find my like terms. I have a 3x and a negative 7x. Those are like terms because they have the same variables with the same exponents. They're both an x to the 1. I also have a positive 1y and a negative 3y, and then a negative 4z and a positive 2z. Rearranging this so like terms are together, because all those terms are degree 1, I'll base it based on alphabetical order. So I'll put the terms with an x first, 3x minus 7x, then the terms with a y, the positive 1y and the negative 3y, and then the terms with a z, negative 4z plus 2z. And now collecting my like terms, 3x minus 7x would give me negative 4x. And then we have y minus 3y. 1 minus 3 is negative 2, so that's negative 2y. And then negative 4z plus 2z. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2, so that'd be negative 2z. And none of those 3 terms are like terms, so we can't collect them together, which means this is the final simplified answer. Now let's move on to the last one we'll practice, part D. This time I need to subtract this polynomial and then subtract that polynomial. I can do it all at once by following the same rules. The first polynomial, 6x minus 12, we can drop the brackets. Then in the second polynomial, I have to subtract negative 9x and also subtract negative 4. And then in the third polynomial, I have to subtract the x and subtract the positive 14, which I can write as minus 14. I can simplifying these minus negatives to just plus, and then find my like terms. 6x positive 9x, and negative 1x are all like terms. And then my constants, negative 12, positive 4, and negative 14 are all like terms. Let me rearrange them so like terms are beside each other. Collecting the like terms together, 6x plus 9x minus 1x. 6 plus 9 is 15, minus 1 is 14, so this would be 14x. And then the constant terms, negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8, minus 14 would be negative 22. So it would be 14x minus 22 as the final simplified expression. And then to finish off the lesson, let's do one final application question. It says the Berg Birds players get an X dollar bonus added to their base salary for every goal they score during the playoffs. Here are the salaries and goals scored for the 3 highest scoring players on the Berg Birds during the playoffs last season. Let's write and simplify an expression of each player's year-end salary. Bar down Jensen, if we look at his salary, he gets a base salary of $100,000, plus he gets X dollars for every goal he scored, and he got 25 goals. So an expression for how much he earns at the year-end salary would be $100,000, plus he's going to get X dollars for each of the 25 goals he scored in the playoffs. So plus 25 times X, where X is the amount of dollars he gets for each of the goals, which we don't know yet. So we use a variable X to represent that. Lisos has a base salary of $75,000 and he got 18 goals in the playoffs. So his final year-end salary will be that $75,000 plus 18 times whatever the bonus is per goal, which we don't know yet. And then Dangle's Dimu has $90,000 in base salary, plus he got 10 goals in the playoffs. So his year-end salary will be $90,000 plus 10 times whatever you get for a bonus for scoring each of those 10 goals. In part B, we have to write and simplify an expression for the total amount of money the owner of the team will need to pay the 3 players at the end of the season. Well, it'll just be the sum of these 3 salaries. So I'll add those 3 polynomials together. Now that I have the sum of these 3 polynomials, I can just drop the brackets and then collect my like terms. I have 25x plus 18x plus 10x. Let's just collect those together right now. 25x plus 18x plus 10x. If I add the coefficients, I get 53x. And then my constant terms, I have 100,000 plus 75,000, that's 175,000, plus 90,000, that's 265,000. So I'll have to add 265,000 in base salary to the total amount of money the owner is going to have to pay to those 3 players. So if X equals 10,000, meaning the owner is going to give $10,000 for each goal scored in the playoffs, let's calculate the total amount of money that the owner will need to pay to the 3 players at the end of the year. So we'll just sub in this 10,000 for X into our simplified expression for the total amount the owner will pay the players. So the total amount would equal 53, that's the number of goals they scored in the playoffs, times $10,000, which is how much the owner is going to pay per goal scored, plus the sum of their base salaries, which was $265,000. 53 times 10,000 is going to be $530,000 in bonuses paid out to the players, plus their base salary of $265,000. If I add that together, that's going to be a total payout of $795,000 to the 3 players. And that's the end of this lesson. Hopefully now you feel comfortable adding and subtracting polynomial expressions. Make sure you go to jensenmath.ca to get a copy of the practice questions that go along with this lesson. Jensen Math!